Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let me introduce you properly. So, everyone, this is Jan Hageman. I said it wrong last week. I was butchering her name. And you have tuned into Funnel Fridays. I'm Dawn Marie, and the AvNav program or app is a white label of Rapid Funnel. And I learned of Rapid Funnel back in 2017, and it helped me close 80% of my sales. And I was so excited when I was able to get a white label, utilize it, and then bring it to At Cost Metals. And so what we're doing here with our Funnel Fridays every week is we are just going through all the different features that it offers, because there is a gamut, and you're going to be so delighted with this. And for those of you that aren't aware, we offer to you for free. There is a free version. There is a premium version. Of course, the premium version is going to have all the bells and whistles on it, but the free version is very robust. So you'll be able to have at your fingertips all the resources that you need to close your sales and help people make an informed decision. So these trainings run about 30 to 45 minutes. It starts with a training that Jen will be doing. And then we also have one of our customer service managers from the technical side on the call to answer any questions at the end. And today we have Ernan from the Philippines on. So I'd like to introduce you to Jen. Jen is amazing. She joined Rapid Funnel, and she'll tell you a little bit about her background. But she has been with one network marketing company for over 30 years at the top rank. And she saw the shared vision with the CEO of Rapid Funnel to help get this information out to the masses and be able to help people that are brand new or seasoned veterans be able to close their sales faster with this at your fingertips app. So without further ado, go ahead and take it away, Miss Jen.
Well, thank you so much. I'm really glad to be here because, as Dawn shared, I have been in the industry. I was fortunate to pick a company that was very solid and a good fit for me. And my husband and I have both been with that company about 33 years. We absolutely love the industry of network marketing, but the challenge with it is that it appeals to people who have never really been in this industry before. And our challenge was always, how do we let the new person be as successful as they possibly can be or as they want to be? And I don't know about you. I don't know how long each of you have been in the industry, but there are a lot of gurus and a lot of training, and there's a lot of noise out there. And we certainly spent a lot of money on programs that we were pretty sure this was going to be the fit. This was going to do the deal, right? This was going to get our team just up and running. And most cases, it just wasn't a fit. It was too complicated. It was asking them to do the wrong things. It was not duplicatable. There were a lot of reasons for it not being a fit. But when I saw Rapid Funnel, I realized this is genius. And one of the reasons that it's genius is because the CEO who created it was in our industry, created this specifically for our industry to solve his very concern, which was my concern. How do you have someone on your team who's brand new, know exactly what to do, and be able to do it courageously because it's simple and clear? So that's what the app is all about. And I know that a lot of you on the call have been using the app, which is really exciting. Dawn's done an amazing job of introducing it to you and showing you how to use it. And I know a bunch of you have been implementing it, which is just fantastic. So what I want to do is just go through session number 2 on our training for your team, because there are some concepts, and I'm sure you've probably heard this phrase before, that concepts are constant, but techniques vary. And that's why sometimes in our industry, we'll see different techniques get implemented at different times. But the basic concept in network marketing is that it is network marketing. You are going to your network and sharing something with them that makes sense. And that might be a product, that might be an income opportunity, it might be a combination of the two. So it's your network. And one of the things I think I shared last week, one of the things that Rapid Funnel does brilliantly is it breaks through all the noise of all the digital exposure. So I know, I'm sure you probably have experienced this, you just get a lot of input between Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and email and texting and all that stuff. You just get a lot of digital input. And how do you, or more importantly, how do your contacts know how to sift through that? And the way they sift through that is usually by people that they know. And so that really is Rapid Funnel's edge, is when you send something to someone you know, it's going to break through that noise of all the digital impressions that they get because they know you. They're going to open it because they, if I get something from Dawn, I'm going to open it. I know it's from her. I'm in a conversation with her. I want to open it. I want to see what she has to say. And so that is really the distinction with Rapid Funnel, is it is authentic marketing to your network, and it's allowing you to break through that noise. So one of the other aspects of that is we all have these spheres of influence, and this is kind of I'll share a little bit of my story as I go through this because this is near and dear to my heart. Professional networkers own their own database, and you want to be looking at your database from the perspective of, do I own it? Am I in control of it? And let's just see if I can advance this slide. The challenge with databases is what you don't know can cost you. And you just need to be asking, where is your data? Who controls it? Can you get it on or off that platform? Can you use it? And not treating that particular aspect of your business like a professional really can cost you. And a lot of people come into this very part-time, and they're doing this as they can, and so they don't really necessarily bring this business mindset to bear contact list. But this is what I would encourage you to do. The other dynamic, and we've all seen this too, is people not generating enough new prospects. They don't have a system for how to generate new prospects, and so they talk to the 3, 4, 10, 20, 100 people that they can easily talk to, but then they don't have any kind of a plan for, how do I create more contacts so that I can find the people who are looking for what I have, who are ready to move now? That's really what we're after. And also, another really easy groove to slide into is that you think you're in a lot of activity, but you're kind of faking yourself out. And I know that a lot of people will say to me in my own organization, oh, I'm talking to lots of people. And without a way to quantify that, to them, a lot of people is 2 people a month. They kind of feel overwhelmed by that. With another person, it's 2 people a day. Everyone's different, but what Rapid Funnel allows you to do is it allows you to quantify that, measure it. And what we all know is that what you measure improves because you can take a look at it. So here's the hard lesson I learned. When Facebook really got started, I was already in the business. And so I have another hobby that I'm very serious about, and it's got its own little niche. And we had a lot of friends develop on Facebook from that. And I started having conversations with them and developing a relationship with them. So I had this huge group of people that were in Facebook, and I was connecting with them through Messenger. And it was really before Instagram was active, but that's another story. Facebook at one point in time decided, you're contacting too many people too quickly, and they just shut me down. And I suddenly realized, wow, they're my friends, they're my contacts, but now I can't communicate with them. And because we'd been conversing in Messenger, there was no real need for me to have their phone number or their email. So I had no way outside of that platform to manage or control or contact my contacts. And that was a huge, huge problem for me. Fortunately, it happened early. So I was really able to say, okay, I need to look around. I need to have a plan. And this is one of the things that Rapid Funnel does in spades. But the point is, I want you to understand, your Facebook, your YouTube, and your LinkedIn contacts are not free, and they're not really yours. You can't pull them off easily and have a way to communicate with them on a regular basis through email or texting to then further that relationship. The other dynamic that can happen is that when you take a client and you have them come over to a Facebook piece of information or a YouTube or a LinkedIn, those platforms understand, hey, that person is interested in X, Y, or Z. And suddenly your prospect is going to be bombarded with ads from your competition because the platform is selling ads. And they'll see you've created this person, they're interested in your goods and services and your income option. And suddenly your person is getting bombarded with ads from other people in the marketplace. So those platforms can cost you. And it's not that we don't use them, but we want to use them carefully. But more importantly, I want you to understand that the mindset is building your database outside of those platforms. And how best do you do that? And in my opinion, Rapid Funnel is the best way to do it. You want to build the database so that you can search it, which is huge, so that you can find the people that you've put in there. You want to be able to have things trackable, which is really Rapid Funnel's strong suit. Everything is trackable. And then you want to be able to filter and communicate and mostly be thinking about your business. Where do you want to be 5 years from today? You know, as I said before, techniques are going to vary, but if you have a database, if you have a list of people, regardless of what the techniques are, or if a new product comes out, or if a new situation comes out within your company where someone can get to another position, you want to be able to quickly search through your database and then also be able to communicate with them. And that really is something that most people don't think about, or certainly I did not think about with the social media platforms. You also want to be able to organize your contacts, you know, in terms of how you bring them in. And the cool thing about Rapid Funnels, you can bring them in one at a time, or you can bring them in with a CSV file. You can add notes, you can label, you can filter, you can mark people as 5-star. And then within the app itself, it will help you rate the prospects. So you can have 5-star people that are hot prospects. And so long as you and they are still communicating within the app with trackable links, the app will kind of tell you, hey, this person's really a very strong prospect. You know, if let's say you've been sending them an email in an email campaign for 2 or 3 months, the timing wasn't right. 3 months down the road, suddenly it is. They watch your video. The app is going to tell you, hey, Mary Smith just watched your video. That tells you I need to reach out and do a follow-up with her at this point in time, even though she was totally inactive the previous 60 to 40, to 90 days. So it gives you much more control over where you should spend your energy, which is huge. And then you're going to do labels, which will help you put people into email broadcasts. And those email broadcasts are already preloaded and set for you. So it just makes it easier for a new person to get going. So I'm going to do two things here. I want you all, I know that a lot of you, hopefully most of you have the app on your phone, but what we're going to do is a quick training and a quick workshop challenge. I want to just go through what we're going to do. It's very simple. Some of you have probably already done this, but I really want you to just do it one more time. And it might not be the particular step we're going to do because you might already have yourself in the app, but what we want you to do today is get your app out, open it up, and we want you to find yourself in the contacts and send yourself a resource. But more importantly, for this next week, we want you to decide, okay, this is my goal. This is how many new exposures I'm going to do in the course of next week. And really commit to that as an activity goal so that you are starting to get in the flow of this is what I do. Every week I do a certain number of reach outs, because one thing I know in this industry is that if you reach out and you expose people, they will engage, and then you'll have people becoming customers. You'll have people joining your team. It absolutely works. Rabbit Funnel just makes it work a whole lot easier. Next week, we're going to talk about how you get more leads. And that's a really cool, simple feature that the app has that's already there that is just magical, in my opinion.
Wow, that's beautiful.
I am up and running to your beautiful app. It's absolutely lovely. So what we are going to do, if I can get over here, is basically you're going to send yourself a resource. In order to do adding a contact, you're just going to click on that button that says a plus, put someone's name in. What you do with this person is you click on that person, and then right here where it says send resource, you simply click on that button and it loads. We go to at cost metals, and we are at the first button for someone usually. So we want to get permission. And this, I think I talked about last week, is that you really don't want to be sending out, you absolutely don't want to be sending out a link until you've had a conversation with that person. So you're going to click on this button right here. Let me just close that for a second. This button right here, which is the preview button. You click on it, and this tells you what the text is. So you can simply copy it right over here and put it into a text, an email, a WhatsApp, whatever you happen to be using. And that is sending out this message. Now, obviously, when you put it there, you can modify it to your own name at the end. Make sure you change the signature. And if you want it to be a little more personal, or there's a particular area of reference, you can definitely change that a little bit. But what we really want to be doing is just using the system that Dawn has created, because it makes it very duplicatable and it keeps people from stopping. Instead, because a new person almost always says, what do I say? What do I do? Where do I go? How do I start? This system is designed to answer all of those questions. They start with step one. They send out this invite. They can do that by text, by email, WhatsApp, however channel they typically communicate with someone. And then they send that out. And as soon as they have a response back, the app is going to tell them that so-and-so responded to your text. And then you're in a place where you now have permission, and you can now go to piquing curiosity and send them a survey, send them more information, whatever is appropriate for their next step. And that's going to be based a lot on what your conversation is. So basically, sending a resource is just coming into this area, picking the resource. So I click on that. As soon as I click on that, let's just say I'm going to do this invite. I then have the choice of an email. This would be a text if I had a cell, and this is for social. So you click on the button that you want to use, and then I'll just do social. Let's see, can I do, if I do email? Okay, it asks me which app do I want to use. I can use my own mail or Gmail. If I wanted to do social, it preloads everything, so it's right there for you. So it's super, super easy. And I'm not going to send this because I don't want April to get a weird email, but you can see that it preloads and it just does it for you, which is just absolutely fantastic for the new person. They don't have to do anything. They don't have to think or create what their first steps are going to be. That's what we really want to chat about.
Fantastic. So how do you want to do this? You want me to unmute everyone or ask them to raise hand if they have questions?
Why don't they raise hands if they have questions? And then
okay.
We should be able to see them on speaker, but let's get.
Okay, so if you guys want to try that out, add yourself by clicking the plus button at the bottom, and make sure you put all your information, your telephone, your email.
What that looks like. So you're just going to add yourself here. This button down here is what you click on to add yourself. Just click on that, and that's going to put yourself in. And as soon as you're in the app as a contact, you'll see your name. Let's just pick on April again. You'll see your name. You'll click on yourself, and then you're going to click on this button here, Send Resources. And then when you click on that, your resources open. So you're going to click on At Cost Metals. Just click on that section. And then you'll choose what resource is appropriate. Now, the first one is always the best place to start with a new contact. So you're going to click on Get Permission. And then maybe you're going to invite them to the survey, or maybe you have a conversation opener, or maybe you have another conversation opener. You can preview all of these right here. April, I want to share something. You see how the app loaded her first name because it came from a contact? So you don't even have to do that. It does it for you. I wanted to share something with you because you're one of those people I admire that's intelligent and also open-minded. Have a minute to watch a quick video? I'd love your feedback. And then, of course, you're going to change your last name so that if you're Mary, you're not sending something from Joe.
And can you show them also the peak? Because in many cases, they've already had a telephone conversation with someone, and they've already given them the verbal okay. So now they can move right into the peak. And, listen, guys, it's all case by case, because you might be working with a big builder that says, I need to see that comp plan right now. And so then you would just move into the follow up and find the comp plan. But if it's just someone that you are just the regular person, you're going to, once you get your permission, choose one of those four.
So under here, you have your first one is your 1 minute survey on gold and silver. And again, if you click on the open, it brings you to the link and it tells you what the survey is. And when they complete this survey, their information goes into your contacts and you get notified. So this tells you, hey, this person's already answered stuff and they're ready to go. So the next thing would be this why at cost metals. So maybe this is the best piece for them. And again, it's going to bring them over to this piece right here, show them this video, ask them if they want more information, and bring that information over to you, which is absolutely fabulous. So,
and just get familiar with each of these because you might have your favorite of these. It really doesn't matter. But I always say like the 2 minute animated is good for under 50. The intro for retirees over 50. And then the why at cost metals is the corporate 2 minute sizzle video. So you might really like that one. So whichever is your favorite and know your customer, just send it out. Let me just try this myself really quickly. So I'm going to put in Dawn test and I'm just going to try similar to what is real. So as soon as you add yourself, the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to assign this contact to a campaign? And if it's you, definitely do it. Mm-hmm. Now, if it's someone else, you need to alert them that Rapid Funnel is going to shoot them out at opt-in and that they need to look for that email and opt in. And if they don't, it's going to reduce your statistics. And if it goes too low, they're not going to allow you to email. So this is super important, but you're going to want to add it to yourself. And so you just click that, assign it, and then it's going to shoot out an opt-in. You're going to need to go check your email and opt in. By the way, the other resource that I think is very important is My Card at the very top.
Yes.
So what's beautiful about My Card? So my buttons might look a little bit different, but we have set for a default 10 different buttons for you. And so what's really nice is utilize the business card and let them know there's a whole bunch of resources, buttons on there that they can go to. Person is Vin. So let's get him unmuted. Asked to unmute. Okay, Vin, do you have a question for us? Yes, we can.
Awesome. You can hear me this week.
That's great.
Last week you couldn't hear me. But yeah, first off, I just want to say thank you for, having this, free resource. I mean, it's amazing how we can just track, who we talking to and.
Vin, you're garbled. Okay, Vin, if you want to just type your question in the chat, we'll get it there. We heard the first part, so I'm so happy that you're using it. This is Vin, and I think Vin is located in Vietnam and visiting Dallas right now. So super excited that Vin is here. Okay, so now let's check with Gianna. Unmute. Gianna, if you have a question, go ahead.
Great, thank you. So I just want to be clear when we go through this, because I was testing it last week and I played with it myself and I sent it to two of my guinea pigs. When I went through the get permission, it's clear that it says that, the invite for the survey. Then you go to peak and it's obvious that you send them the 1 minute survey. Now, if I was to do the conversation opener number 1 or number 2 in the get permission, are you saying that it doesn't matter where you send them to the next follow-up under peak or
yep,
which?
Absolutely. So under get permissions, 2 or 3, 1 or 2. Listen, what we're just trying to do is give you an idea. So sometimes we're so nervous about reaching out to people. So when we're just writing these things, it's just to help you to have an idea. And so you get the permission. And then after they give you permission, then you can choose any of those, whichever one you want. It doesn't matter.
It's the same process after I get to peak and I go into present and then follow up. It's just a matter of, well, obviously I see female and male, but it would just determine based on the conversation that I'm having with them for each to move.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to move them along. Now, keep in mind, like any of these three peaks, if we click on it, click on play, let me just show you what it's going to look like. And when they click learn more, it's automatically going to move them, advance them through the series of presentation and then the follow-ups. Now, not every single resource is on the video series, but there are 9. So this one is the retiree one, or the golden years one. And then if I click learn more, then it's going to move them into the overview. And if I click more, it's going to move them into the comp plan. And basically, so, let them know when you
keep the eye on the notifications of where they're moving through the sequence, so that, because I don't want to send them the next one if they've already hit the learn more and continued through. So just keep an eye on the notifications. As it was actually pretty cool watching where they, like, how the percentage of how much they watch the video. It was actually really nice the way you guys are doing that with the follow-up in the note, to see where each person was. It made it seamless. So basically just keep an eye on those notifications if they're moving through each area, because I don't want to duplicate, I don't want to resend them something they've already looked at. And what I have done so far, because I had somebody refer me to a family member last night. So what I did was I just sent them my digital business card.
That's fantastic.
Because it already has, if he has questions, all of the buttons are listed there so that he can go through to start there. So I didn't know if that was okay to start with that first.
There's no wrong thing. And the same thing will happen as long as you are starting with a contact first, clicking on the contact and sending the resource from there, then it's going to be trackable. Then no matter what they watch, it's going to notify you. But if you just send out the generic, go straight to the resources and send your business card that way, it's not going to notify you. So we tell people, take the time to add someone, each person. And even if you don't have, if it's just social media and you don't have their email or phone number, you can still add them. You can add them however you want, just their first name and their last name. So don't let that slow you down, but at least add them so that you could, when you send the resource, it's trackable and it will start notifying you. So like you said, you don't want to duplicate. And if they've already, while you were sleeping, if they already advanced through 9 different things, tomorrow you don't have to send them the thing that they already saw. Very good.
If I only have his first and last name and I don't have any other contact information, how would it track it?
Oh, it's because he's pushing the buttons, because you've added him.
It's going through the IP address and all that, all the data.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So, and by the way, I have closed a lot of people without knowing their information on social media. So don't think that you have to ask anybody for their email or phone number just to put them into the system and get them moving along. So
now, can I go back? Like if I add him in now, can I click on, like I just sent him the digital card. Can I go backwards and do that, or no? Is that just moving forward? So I already sent him the digital card, but I didn't add him as a contact. So if I want to go back and
yes. So now add him as a contact and now send him something, because you have no clue. If you didn't add him first, it was not trackable. So you have no clue what he's already seen.
Right.
So try to always do that. Take the time to do that. But again, if they originate from social media, you're not going to know. But if, as soon as that person, you post something generically on your page and then they respond to you in a message and say, wow, this is amazing. Now at least you have their first and last name. You add that. And then, at this point you can ask them, hey, what did you watch? How much did you see? And then they'll tell you, and then you go, okay, good. They got to this point. Now I know what to send them next.
A couple of things too. When we share the digital business card at this point in time, down the road, there's going to be a new feature added. And I don't know the timeline on this, but down the road, it'll be when you send someone the digital business card, the app will ask them when they receive it, hey, do you want to share your digital business card back? And if they say yes, or it'll ask them, I'm not exactly sure because it's not up and running yet, but it will be a reciprocal question. And as soon as they respond to that, they will be in your contacts, which is going to be a cool feature. So that just know that that's coming down the pike. But we got a couple more people who have questions. Here we go, Kirk. You're unmuted. Excellent.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yes.
Okay. Hey, thanks so much, Jen, for taking the time out today to be with us. And thanks as always, Dawn, for putting this lot of work system together to make it easy for us. I really appreciate that. You spent a lot of time doing it and we get to capitalize on that. Hey, quick question. Is this accessible also just on the computer? Can the app be downloaded to a desktop?
There is a desktop version. It doesn't look quite the same because this is really designed to be a mobile app because you don't leave your house without your phone, basically. So that's the primary use of it. But there is a desktop version, and you can do everything in the desktop. It just isn't laid out quite the same.
Right. Yeah, that's fine. And the other question is this, is what's involved with the upgrade to the Pro system? What resources do you get that are not found here?
Okay, right. I'm going to jump in really quickly because I was going directly to this advancementnavigator.com. There is a comparison chart here that will show you the difference between the free version and the premium version. So we'll see if it pulls up. It looks a little funny because I'm on a phone, but you could go through and see what you get on the premium versus the free. And then going back to the other one, if you click Get Started Now, it's going to take you to the Get Started page. And on the top menu on the right, it will show you the login, and that's the login for the desktop. And the desktop version, of course, because you're on a desktop, it's not going to allow you to text message. And so you're only going to have the option of email or copy paste for social media.
Still there, so hang on one second.
We're going to try this.
We're going to try this one more time.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we have you.
Oh my goodness. Why is it so hard? Sorry about that. Well, anyways, my question was, how does someone opt in?
They're going to get an email that says, Vin would like you to opt in to the At Cost Metals opportunity email. Please click here to opt in. And then they must click it. Yeah. So when you send it to yourself, when you add yourself and you add yourself to the email campaign, then go check your email. And that's how you'll see what they're getting.
Okay. I'll try that.
So go back into your contact and make sure the campaign is clicked.
I have to find someone that.
I have to click the campaign for it to get the opt-in option?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's
see it here? It says active campaign here. So it says change. This one's already opted in. So I could resend it or I can change it.
Got it. Okay. Now
and what that would mean is in the future, we'll have other email campaigns, maybe different demographics, builder versus buyer, those kind of things. So we might have different email campaigns that we want to send to people. So you'll be able to change whichever one you want to put them on.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much for that.
I'm going to jump in here because best practice when you send that opt-in, if you're communicating with them, which you should be, I mean, if they're saying, yeah, sure, you can keep in touch, I would definitely have the conversation with them. Hey, I just sent you an email. I want to make sure this doesn't end up in your spam or your junk. So just go to your email right now. Look for my email. Did you find it? And get an answer from them. And then when they say, yeah, I got your email, then say, just click on the button or click on the link. And that way my emails will always get through to you and they won't go into your junk mail. So you kind of walk them through that opt-in process with a conversation, and that will definitely up your opt-in rates. And you'll also be getting people in your email campaign that want to be there.
Okay. And this campaign only works to the emails, correct?
It is designed to be an email campaign. Yeah, right. So let's get to Steve.
Thank you. Hey, I'm excited about what's going on here. I am a bit of a caveman. I seldom have a phone with me.
Okay.
What I was wondering about is, can you put the app on the computer without going through or activating it through your cell phone?
Yeah. I just showed you the website. So you just go to this website and click here at the top. It's go to advancementnavigator.com and then click Get Started. It's going to bring you here. And at the top right menu, it says Login. And you click on the login. And if you are on your desktop, that's how you'll be able to log in. It's not going to be as user-friendly. It's going to have limited capabilities because you will not be able to text message from your desktop, but you can definitely do it. So go have some fun with that.
Okay, this is stunning to me to think that you can keep track of what videos people have seen and even how far they've checked into it.
It's game changing. It's totally game changing.
And you'll also be able to find out when they're fibbing to you, because people don't like to tell you the truth, because they're busy and they might not have had a chance to watch something. So it seems like more often than not, people will say, yes, I watched it. So this is why you'll know if they really watched it or if they just clicked it. And then you can have a great way of saying, kind of calling them on it without, offending them. It's just like,
what was your favorite part of that? What was your favorite part of that video type thing? Huh?
Exactly. That's exactly a great question, because then they're forced to either make something up or just fess and say, you know what, I really didn't have an opportunity to watch it yet. So very cool, huh?
Yeah. Oh, okay. That's pretty much my questions. Thanks a lot. And thank you, Kurt, for bringing me here.
Thank you, Steve.
Glad you're here. So Marlon, I'm going to ask you to unmute and we can get to your question.
Hi, ladies. Great job, ladies and gents. Great job. Great job. I wanted to ask, I don't know if it was who mentioned about targeting specific demographics, but if that is something that might be on the table pretty soon, I would strongly suggest realtors, because there has been a big shakeup in the real estate market as far as their percentages, how much they'll be able to get. And it's estimated that almost half of the real estate brokers and real estate agents are going to quit.
Yep. No, the real estate.
So here, what I'm doing here is under this contact. This is me. This is a test. I'm not a realtor, but you would type in as much information as from that person. Like married, 25 years. 6 kids. None of this is true. And you would type in everything, and then later you could search by realtor, and it would pull up everybody that's a realtor or a veteran or everyone that's married or, dog lover. You can search under dog. And so keep that in mind. So you want to utilize your labels as much as possible, your notes.
Absolutely. And down the road, you will probably, as Dawn said, you will have some targeted email campaigns. So being able to sort through your names becomes huge. Having your names in a place where you control them, but then being able to sort and create those subcategories is really huge.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kurt, you have one more question, so let me ask you to unmute.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it. How do you send out your digital card to somebody? I find it in the app, and I don't see a mechanism for sending just that out. I think it wants you to clip a resource to it. Is that the way that works?
You just click a box. It's super easy.
So we're gonna go to the contact first. So on the bottom left, click contacts, and I'm gonna choose Dawn Test, and then it's just the same as everything else. Send resource, and it's at the very top, my card, and just
you just
check
have to click that white box.
Yep, you just check that box, and then if in this case at the bottom you see the 3 icons. So in this case, I could email it. I can't text it because I don't have a phone number, or I could copy and paste the link. So if I do this, I just want to show you what it looks like. I am on an iPhone, so it may look a little different if you're on an Android. And because this is me testing myself, it says hi Dawn, but normally it would say whoever their name is. And then there it is right there. And when they click that, it's going to track them.
Yeah, so I just did it based on your teaching. Thank you. And Stephen Nett, I emailed that to you with the system, so you can see it there.
Fantastic. And just make sure you're not clicking on these yourself. because these are hot links, and then you'll get a false positive saying that someone actually did it. So when they didn't, and it'll get you excited, and they really didn't click on it.
Right.
Well, thanks, ladies. That was great.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Here. We appreciate it. And next week, we'll be talking about how to get more leads. There are some really great systems for that. So that is all I had to cover for today. So Dawn, is there anything you want to share?
No, I'm just seeing if I could pull up the leaderboard, but again, my internet is...
Well, I don't think it's the internet. I think the
there we go.
mirroring is. Oh, look at that. That's exciting.
Okay, so I just wanted to share with you guys, we've just been doing this beta testing for the last few weeks, and already we have a leaderboard that's showing how many people are using it. There's Vin. He's number 5 on the list. I'm trying to see who else is on here. I think Firefighter Mike is on the is here on the trainee, 25. Antoine is 19. So you can see everyone using it. So get your name at the top, guys. And then what we're going to do starting maybe next month is we'll probably start having some kind of promotion, at least a team promotion. It might not be a corporate based promotion, but it might be from Antoine down, or maybe Antoine will talk to Johnny and it'll be a field promotion for everyone. And it will be a combination of how many engagements you have, plus how many signups you have. So it'll be like whoever has the most signups during the month of April, plus at least 25 engagements, is going to be the winner of whatever the prize is. So we're coming up with a promotion now, but so go ahead and start getting your name up here. Now, the only people that see this are the other people that are in the on the app. So this is not something the public is going to see, but super exciting.
Yep. And you can see it. That's the other part. You can actually see it. It's, I think that's really for me, the big deal about Rabbit Funnel is you're not blind anymore. You can see what your team is doing. You can see how many exposures they're doing. You can see how many engagements they're getting. It tells you where to focus your time, because you know who's actually doing the do. And also in terms of your contacts, you can see that they're looking at your video. You can see they've taken the survey. You just have much more insight into what's actually going on. It's quite empowering. It's really exciting.
I just want to show them very quickly. I know Jen's got to go. It's top of the hour. But I know I hammer everyone on this, but I think this is the way you should be inviting people to your events. Go to your contact, open it up. You have where we were clicking send resources. Instead, click event invite. You get the calendar. Go ahead and swipe to the right, and you'll see it for Monday. Click on, the 1st of the month is Monday. You click on it. This is going to be our next overview. And the 2 icons on the bottom, you could email it, or on this case, copy and paste it because we didn't put my phone number in. But what I want to show you is so important that you're not just sending out YouTube links, just like she was saying. Make sure that you're doing it this way. I'll make sure it's tested so it's working way before Monday. But they're going to watch the webinar, and then your information is going to be at the bottom. This is very important. So Antoine's doing the Zoom. They actually participate in the Zoom. They could chat. They could ask questions. And when we click in Zoom, they come right back here and they're like, oh, let's hit join now. Now, again, this is going to go to mine, but it'll go to yours. So I want you to see how easy it is. If you can please try to get away from the bad habit of sending Zoom links out and doing it this way, this would be so much better.
Just again, have control of your data. That's really the key.
Yes.
Your people will stay connected with you in a nice, clean way that makes sense to them. It's a fabulous feature.
And every week, guys, we're going to go through more and more features. We are just scratching the surface. And so if you have a more advanced question, check under coaching. Here's all the different things that you could see so you can get ahead of the game if you're raring to go. We don't want to stop you from that. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
And until next Friday. Bye for now.